and welcome to the 2007 White Bear Lake Area High School Commencement Program. I am Tim Wald, Principal at White Bear Lake Area High School's South Campus, and we are truly delighted to have you with us tonight. One of the unique and positive aspects of our school is the prominent role students play in all of our major events. Tonight will be no exception. We selected 4 students from our senior class to participate in tonight's ceremony. Our first speaker to welcome you this evening is Mark Johnson. Mark has been a very involved student. He is a member of our symphonic band. He served as band homecoming coordinator, was a member of the Swing Dance Club, and was Master of Ceremonies for Nightclub 2007. He is a member of his church choir and a Sunday school teacher, and participated in his church mission trip. Next year, Mark will be attending Bemidji State University, where he will major in secondary education and perhaps teach social studies to the class of 2012 someday. Please welcome Mark Johnson.
Ever smiles, and farewell goes out sighing. These words were written by William Shakespeare, and I think that they are the perfect way to start the commencement ceremony for us, White Bear Lake High School's class of 2007. These words perfectly describe the past 13 years of our lives. When we started kindergarten, we entered smiling and bright-eyed, ready to start that long path to being grown up. As each year passed, we were happy to be back and see all of our friends again in September, and we were sad to see them go every June. This has been a pattern that will end tonight. When we leave here, we will be sighing for the last time. We walked in this evening as students, but we will march out into the world as alumni, a title which we all deserve. I'm so happy to see all of you sitting here in your caps and gowns as a symbol that we have made it. We have made it through that scary but exciting first day of school. We made it through trying to find a friend to eat lunch with in middle school. We even made it through the dizzying circles at North. But most importantly, we have made it academically, and we should be proud of ourselves. We are not the only ones here tonight who are proud of our accomplishments. Our families are proud too. They have seen us through these years and helped to shape us into what we are today. Without them, we don't know where we would be. So as you walk across this stage tonight and think, "Don't fall," and "Diploma left, shake hands with the right," I want you to think of your family and loved ones and thank them. Because as they sit here and cheer, cry, or just smile quietly, they will be thinking, "I love you," and they will be proud beyond words. Another group of people here tonight who deserve a very special thank you are our teachers. They have taught us everything from our ABCs to how to quote Shakespeare the correct way according to MLA format. They have helped us to become what we are, both as people and scholars. We were the candles waiting to burn. They were the matches wanting to illuminate our minds. So thank you to all of our teachers. You have served us extraordinarily. We have the deepest respect for all of you. I would also like to thank you, my classmates. We have stood side by side through these years and are still standing with each other tonight. Sure, there may have been some fights along the way, but the relationships we formed are one of the things that made high school an unforgettable experience. You have been an amazing class to graduate with. I could not have asked for better. Thank you. But before I go, I would like to give you a little advice. The first piece of advice is something Lucille Ball once said. She said, "I believe we are only as happy as we make up our minds to be." So I would like for all of us to make up our minds to be happy, as I am sure that many of you already have. I would like to leave you now with this last piece of anonymous advice. If at first you don't succeed, do it like your mother told you. Thank you very much, class of 2007. I love you all. Way to go. We did it.
White Bear Lake Area High School has a strong tradition of excellence dating back to our first graduate in 1896. This 111-year tradition continues with the class of 2007. The class of 2007 has earned numerous honors in the classroom, in the community, and within the state and nation. Success like this doesn't happen by accident. One of the enduring strengths of our school and a central reason for its success has been the high quality and outstanding commitment of our faculty. At this time, I ask the teachers who are seated on either side of the graduating class to stand and be acknowledged. I would like to take this moment to recognize some very special people who have impacted the lives of thousands of students in the White Bear Lake area schools. The following teachers are retiring after many years of service to our community. And unable to attend tonight are South Campus teachers and staff Donna Rothschafer, Kathleen Johnson, and Carol James. Retiring from the North Campus and with us tonight is Counselor Phyllis Brostrom-Stars. Ms. Brostrom-Stars, please stand. We are fortunate in White Bear Lake to have a school board that provides important policy leadership and firm commitment to quality schools. At this time, I'd like to introduce each member of our school board, asking them to stand and remain standing until all have been introduced. Please hold your applause until then. Our chairperson is Dr. Rolf Parsons. Vice Chair, Greg Larson. Treasurer, Chris Heinecker. Clerk, Lori Swanson. Board Member, Kathy Story. Board Member, George Kimball. Board Member, Janet Newberg. Next, I would like to introduce our other platform guests. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Assisting us with the presentation of the Bear Awards will be American Legion Representative Post Commander Mike Martins. Next, Associate Principals from North Campus, Dion Harriman and Christina Pierre. Associate Principals from South Campus, Brian Leonard, Jack Solom, and our Athletic Director, Bob Jackson. My colleagues, North Campus Principal Bill Soltis, and the Director of the Area Learning Center, Julia Jillick. Our Director of Schools, Dr. Jill Thielen. And finally, our Superintendent, Dr. Ted Blazing. Next, it is my pleasure to introduce the chairperson of our school board. Our chairperson is highly regarded for his leadership and vision. He has served the White Bear Lake community as a member of its Board of Education for 12 years and is committed to providing quality learning experiences for all students. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Rolf Parsons, chairperson of our school board.
Good evening, friends, faculty, staff, family members, and especially graduates. It is my great privilege to welcome you to the graduation of the class of 2007. Tonight, we're celebrating our students' success and will try to capture the meaning of their time in school. Graduates, over the years, you have received a great deal of good advice from your parents and teachers, and tonight you'll hear much of it again in more condensed form. You can think of it as the Cliff's Notes version. I realize that this ceremony is the only thing between you and your graduation party, but please bear with us. I assure you that for my part, while I may fail to inspire, I will be brief. You have all worked hard and invested a great deal of time and effort in achieving this graduation. Your diploma is primarily the result of your efforts, and you should be proud of it. But before you take all the credit for yourself, I ask that you look at the audience, see your parents, see your grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Throughout your education, they have formed a circle of support to ensure your success. They have invested a great deal of time and effort and love in your achievement, and I'm sure that you'll agree that they are a part of the reason that you are graduating this evening. You have learned from them, and tonight, they are inspired by you. It may be less apparent to you that the wider community has also invested in you. In fact, for each of the families in our community that have students in our schools, 3 additional households contribute to the cost of your education. This community is a great place in which to grow up and be educated. We hope that you're proud of it, and we hope that you're proud of your school. I know I speak for everyone gathered here in saying that we, in turn, are all very proud of you. Thank you.
Every graduate here is probably experiencing a mixture of feelings. There is the flood of memories that go with reflecting upon 13 years of education. Our next speaker to reflect on those common experiences is Kelsey Steckler. Kelsey is a respected member of the senior class who actively pursues her studies while also maintaining an attitude of service to her community. Kelsey served as a student council representative for 3 years and played volleyball for 4. Kelsey will attend Bethel University this fall to study pre-law and Spanish. Please join me in welcoming Kelsey Steckler.
For most students on their graduation day, they can look around their auditorium, arena, or gymnasium, and they might realize that there's still that one person that they don't know, or that one person that they always saw in the halls but never got the chance to talk to. But today, things are different in this arena. White Bear Lake School District has always gone above and beyond for encouraging friendships among students. Throughout our clubs, sports, school activities, and sometimes large class sizes, we bond together and meet new people out of our norm, and we don't think twice about it. Today, this is not just being demonstrated by White Bear Lake students, but is being demonstrated by us, the White Bear class of 2007. For us, things are different. Many of us can look around this auditorium and see that our friends, the people that we sat next to in class, or the people that we've passed in the halls and friendly said hey to. And that right there is a great accomplishment and definitely defines the class of 2007. As we look around, we see the familiar faces, and it brings back some memories. Maybe they are from the first couple of days of freshman year when we nervously passed through the halls trying to find our classes. Or maybe they bring back memories from sports. The first time we made the team, made the winning goal, or touchdown, or even went to your first game. Some of us are in band and choir, or theater, and have great memories from them. Others of us have memories from the clubs and after-school activities that we participated in. Collectively, we have been successful at many things. Well, maybe except for Senior Ditch Day, where we thought we had it figured out, complete with a mass text message, MySpace comments, even having it posted on Facebook, only to find out that the administration already knew. By the way, thanks, Mr. Wald. All our memories feel like they were just yesterday, which makes it hard to believe that the last 12 years are now a reflection, and we are now the graduating class representing White Bear. As the class of 2007, we have been through a lot together. I'm not just talking about in the school or the community, but in the world. We live in a place which is so controversial and has so many different viewpoints. It is hard sometimes to find yourself, and you often feel lost and confused. Throughout the years, we have been through many tragedies. Some we watched in class on television, others we found out when we got home, and some were just spread by word of mouth. As the class of 2007, we came together united as a whole to make a difference by giving money for those who needed it more than we did. We gave food and toys to our community. We gave blood twice a year. Some even sent friends, loved ones, soldiers that we didn't even know in a whole different country. We signed cards with our condolences to friends and family around the community. And we also sent things to schools that were going through such terrible experiences. As a whole, we have outdone ourselves and made a positive stand in this world. A few of us who attended Sunrise may remember that day, 4 years ago, in eighth grade World Geography class, when we were asked to write a letter to the future you. The future is here. Mrs. Caston, or as we knew her, Miss Maple, promised to keep those letters and give it to us before we graduated from White Bear. I received my letter a few weeks ago. As I read it, I'm surprised to see how much of it became my reality. Most of us wrote things about what we like to do in our free time and who our friends were. Some of us wrote about the sports that we were involved in and even the crushes that we had on our classmates. We also talked about what our future had in store for us and what we wanted to do when we grew up. As we read those letters, we can be so amazed by how much of it is now a part of our life. We still are involved in the same sports and have the same friends. Many of us have the same interests and hobbies. The issue like the war in Iraq and back in 8th grade is still an issue today. Our dreams of going to college and working are now here. Throughout the years, to Willow to Sunrise, or whichever path led you to north and then south, the teachers and the staff have helped guide us, understand, counsel, and continually encourage and support us. We have also received help from parents, step-parents, grandparents, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, pastors, teachers, and mentors. Thank you for helping us achieve our goals and setting us on the right path towards our dreams. Now, as we sit here with our friends, peers, teachers, and family, we can look around and notice how we are so different. No one in this arena is exactly alike. No one has participated in the same school club or school activity, gone to a dance or school-related activity, has played an instrument in the band or performed in a play. But we can sit here with one thing in common. We can look at all the great accomplishments that we have made, and we can look back on all the memories that occurred, and know that we have made it this far. We are now the graduating class of 2007. Thank you.
You nailed it. Good job. Our next speaker who will point us toward the future is Logan Guillen. Logan has been involved in many areas of our high school. In addition to taking many of our most rigorous courses, he earned a perfect GPA of 4.0. Logan is a member of the National Honor Society and serves as a youth group leader in his church. Last April, Logan completed his Eagle Scout Award. He has been active in the theater and is a member of the symphonic band. Logan will attend the University of Miami, Florida, where he will major in film direction and screenwriting. Please welcome Logan Guillen.
Congratulations, everyone. We're here. We did it together. We can all give each other a handshake on a job well done. Actually, everything I just said now was a lie. Except for the congratulations part. Now, that may be a tad harsh, But think about it. I have spent 4 years with all 658 of you. I know about 150 names and maybe 100 faces in addition to that. Maybe. That's over 400 of you I don't know. That's almost as awkward as the fact that I'm helping to represent this year's graduating class of 2007, and I'm betting that 400 of you don't even know me. Let's experiment with this. How many out of everyone in Aldridge Arena right now has seen Pirates of the Caribbean in theaters? Can I get a show of hands? It just opened 2 weeks ago, and already that many of you saw it. Now here comes the hard part. How many of you know each and every person who just raised their hand? I see. We're all graduating tonight, so technically we're all connected. We all have something in common. Some of us, however, are from completely different worlds. You may not even know anything about the person sitting next to you, except for that they probably have a similar last name. So, how does this lack of knowledge help us to look to the future? Well, it's tricky business. For example, if you were to take it in the literal sense, it would be impossible. No one has ever looked to the future. The true answer lies a little deeper. First of all, looking to the future includes many things. Each of you out there has your own story of how you got here. Each of you are experiencing this moment differently, and therefore, each of you will define your future independent of one another. For some of us, a future might be just finishing the ceremony and proving everyone you could do it. It might be a future with a special loved one. Others are focused on their futures 20 or 30 years ahead of them, including their career plans and hobbies. Our parents might say our future involves going to college. Our current teachers might say our future involves going to college with a solid White Bear Lake Area High School District 624 education base behind you. Unfortunately, there is the possibility that not all of us will achieve our personal dreams. There aren't enough spots in Harvard Law School. So what will happen to us? Well, a pessimist would say that we will all fit a pitfall in life's journey and none of us will ever make a difference. It could be homelessness that tests you, or greed that consumes you, or maybe even the daily routine that desensitizes you until you become an empty shell. Now, that's called looking to the future bleakly. My personal nickname for that is looking to the future idiotically. After all, optimism may be foolish, but I would rather have a few successes paired with numerous failures than no successes at all. That's where we need others. Some people might be sitting next to you, or it could be your best friend sitting 70 or 7 rows in front of you. Now, obviously, you don't have to know the name of every person who saw Pirates in theaters. But if you're going to look to the future, the only way to get there is by using what you know and relying on the people you've met thus far. In turn, if we are all to reach our goals, we have to help and rely on each other. The rest is up to you. You see the actual truth now, don't you? We can't look to the future. It hasn't happened yet. All you have is this moment right now. If you were to look to the future, you have to make the most of your present, starting now with the skills you have and the people around you. Help, and you will be helped by others. Dream big, and your biggest dreams will come true. If we all do these two things, we will all get where we want to go, together, as a community, as a nation, and as a world. Maybe then we can look back to this present and focus not on how we arrived, but rather where we will go. And this time, we won't have to lie. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to invite Mike Martins from American Legion Post number 168 and North Campus Principal Bill Soltis to assist me in presenting the 2007 Bear Awards. The Bear Awards are the highest honors we present. The names of the recipients are kept secret until this evening. These awards are made possible through a generous donation of an endowment made by the White Bear Lake American Legion Post number 168. This endowment allows us to present 3 scholarships of $500 each to students who best exemplify our school goals to strive for excellence in the areas of academics, leadership, and service. It is now my privilege to present the 3 Bear Awards. The White Bear Lake student to receive the Bear Award for Excellence in Leadership has often been recognized as a leader within our school and community. In the classroom, co-curricular activity, or while performing service within our community, this student is recognized by a leader, or as a leader, by peers. Academically, this student has selected rigorous courses including AP European History, Calculus, AP Literature, Advanced Physics, Spanish 5, and Symphonic and Jazz bands. He has been on the A Honor Roll every quarter of his high school career, was recognized as a Rotary Academic Achiever, received the Patrick Henry Award for Patriotism, and is a Brocious Scholarship winner. In addition to academic commitment, this young man committed himself to leadership and service. He serves as an example of the White Bear Lake area community core values of integrity and respect. He served as junior class president, member of the National Honor Society, was homecoming king, and this year resided over our student council in addition to being a leader in his church, youth ministry team. His quiet leadership skills bring out the best in the people with which he works. Next year, he will study international business at the University of St. Thomas. He also intends to feed his passion for music by performing in the jazz band at the university level. This year's recipient of the Bear Award for Leadership is Scott Hansen. This year's Bear Service Award recipient has a very impressive list of involvement in service activities in both our school and community. Having served in leadership positions in both her school and church, this student has been a true servant leader. She describes service as one of her strongest personal values. Throughout her high school experience, she has been drawn to student organizations that also place service as a priority. Some of the service that she has been involved with include volunteering at the Children's Hospital, St. Andrew's Assisted Living Center, Normandy Park Early Childhood Center, Second Harvest Food Bank, Red Cross, and the Salvation Army. She co-chaired a Books for Africa campaign, collecting hundreds of books to improve education for African children. She has also been a Sunday school teacher and a Bible study leader at her church. She still found time to be Vice President of the National Honor Society and project coordinator and ambassadors. She was also co-captain of our volleyball team and earned letters in both volleyball and basketball. And she is a fine example of the White Bear Lake area community core values of compassion and service. Next year, she will be attending Hope College in Holland, Michigan, where she will be studying Spanish, biology, and neuroscience before enrolling in medical school. This year's recipient of the Bear Award for Service is Allie Wolf. Our recipient of the Bear Award for Academic Excellence has been described as a disciplined goal setter, positive role model, and diligent and motivated student and athlete. In addition to taking both AP and CIS classes, this student received the Principal's Award 3 times and was a 4-time academic award winner, earning straight A's in our most challenging courses in science, math, social studies, language arts, world language, and art. She maintained the highest level of excellence throughout her senior year, finishing with a perfect GPA of 4.0. In her essay, she identified her involvement in her 5th grade science fair as one of the pivotal events that inspired and motivated her to greater academic success throughout her middle school and high school years. She has an amazing ability to balance academics with extracurricular activities. While earning 9 letters in soccer, cross country, and track and field, she was also an all-state academic athlete for 4 years. In addition to all of this, she found time to coach youth athletics, and she volunteered at the Salvation Army and the White Bear Historical Society, as well as her church. In the fall, she plans to attend New York University, where she will study pre-med and play soccer. This year's recipient of the Bear Award for Academic Excellence is Britta Gauthier. Congratulations to each recipient. They will have their name inscribed on a special plaque displayed in our school's atrium. Now the White Bear Lake Area High School Band, under the direction of Bob Rantanen, and the White Bear Lake Choir, under the direction of Marie Dimmitt, will perform America the Beautiful. The class of 2007 has made a positive impact on their school and community. Their strong leadership, support for each other, and their commitment to excellence has earned the respect of all of us who have had the privilege of working with them. In their scholastic achievement, athletic success, community service, and exceptional performance in co-curricular activities, they have set a very high standard for future classes to follow. At this time, I ask our superintendent, Dr. Ted Blazing, and the members of our school board to please come forward.
Now is the time for the presentation of the class of 2007. Members of the school board of the White Bear Lake Area School District, it is my honor to affirm that the students assembled here this evening have met the requirements for graduation as prescribed by the state of Minnesota and the school board of Independent School District number 624. It is my distinct pleasure to present the graduating class for 2007. Class of 2007, please stand.
On behalf of the District 624 School Board and the entire community, I accept the presentation of the class of 2007 and declare them eligible to come forward to receive their diplomas as evidence of having completed the requirements set by the school board.
Class of 2007, please be seated as the honor graduates come forward to receive their diplomas.
Kelsey J. Steckler.
Catherine Marie Anderson.
Lindsay Marie Armstrong.
Siri Elizabeth Bloom.
Aaron Joseph Duthoy.
Hillary Jean Ethan.
Benjamin Tyler Farron.
Andrea Randall Foss.
Kelly Fox.
Britta Maren Gauthier.
Logan James Guillen.
Scott Eric Henson.
Caitlin Marie Hansen.
Allie Alexandra Pasapopoulos.
Christina Marie Hirsch.
Kendra Jo Klein.
Laura Elizabeth Kraske.
Nicole Marie Wapping.
Heather Marie Liedl.
Lindsay Elizabeth Matthewson.
Nathan David Pedersen.
Richard Edward Bond.
Derek Michael Quast. Alex Michael Schneeman.
Leah Ann Schroeder.
Kelsey Lynn Surity.
Stephanie Lynn Stewart.
Sherry Modupe Taiwo.
Molly Ann Markison.
Aaron Elaine Wenzel.
Jess Weiterski.
Christine L. Williams.
Ashley Chantel Worth Pender.
Brittany Alexandra Worth Petrick.
Alexandra Nicole Wolf.
George Sunday Akande. Elizabeth R. Albers.
Alicia May Elbert.
Emily A. Alice.
Andrew Harris Alexander.
Stacy Marie Altendorfer.
Kyle Matthew Emily.
Jessica Nicole Anderson.
Ashley Lauren Anderson.
Emily Jean Anderson.
Greta Louise Anderson.
Joseph James Anderson.
Kevin S. Anderson.
Lauren Ashley Anderson.
Spencer
Lucia Araya.
Christopher Paul Arcand.
Julia Irene Arcand.
Christy Jean Arnold.
Juan Carlos Artavia.
Amy Lee Ashenbrenner.
Brittany Lee Atkinson.
Kenneth Lawrence O'Shea.
Elizabeth Eleanor Bacon.
Alicia Marie Baker.
Rachel Rosemarie Baldwin.
Lance Joseph Elter.
Ian Wolf Bartling.
James Burton Hart.
Camille Charlene Bauer.
Dane Michael Bates.
Caleb Joseph Becker.
Andrea Lynn Bowen.
Melanie S. Belhumer.
Brooks Scott Beatty.
Lauren Michelle Berger.
Brittany Swan Bell.
Benjamin David Bianchini.
Ashley Ann Bentler.
Stephen Douglas Bickle.
Stephanie Faye Berger.
Elizabeth Emily Beal.
Justice James Beal.
Derek James Bisping.
Karen Michelle Biederman.
Andrew Hartman Bistrom.
James Buchanan Berkshire.
Jennifer Andrea Bjork.
Andrew Warren Beeson.
Maxwell John Bokey.
Jessica Ray Thornton.
Anthony Michael Boone.
Andrew David Blade.
Benjamin John Bovey.
Keith Boney.
Nicole Elizabeth Boyd.
Brent Borowski.
Daniel Scott Braun.
Jonathan Michael Bovey.
Daniel Briseño DeJoy.
Daniel Russell Grayhawk. Elizabeth Holly Brent.
Rebecca L. Brower. Jacob Dean Brunfold.
Dustin Quartz Brown.
Echo Ray Greer.
Melissa Margaret Brown.
Sarah Lynn Buchanan.
Kayla Lauren Brennan.
Emma Rose Soldier.
John Lee Huberl.
Richard David Bunda.
Brianna Carol Buck.
Christopher Thomas Burns.
Ryan Paul Berger.
John Charles Callahan.
Michelle Mariano Pelletan.
Lisa Ann Carlson.
Corey Ray Carlson.
Kelly Jean Karen.
Bo Anthony Carlson.
Brianna Rose Chapdelaine.
Chelsea K. Carpenter.
Stephanie Lynn Chase.
Anthony James Chaplin.
Ashley M. Clark.
Matthew Charles Christensen.
Alicia Marie Cleary.
Megan Elizabeth Church.
Caitlin Ann Cochran.
Kayla Ann Clark.
Andrew Scott Columbian.
Alyssa Teresa Cleveland.
Edgar Ivan Contreras Alanis.
Sonia Margaret Coleman.
Charles Richard Cotent.
Tucker Robert Combs.
Margaret Kathleen Crabtree.
Natalie Ann Conrad.
Jordan L. Cubstead.
Bethany Lauren Costello.
Jeffrey Paul Courier. Deloya.
Matthew James Coulter.
Kimberly Ann Deloya.
Annalie Crispin.
Jeremy Daniel Davis.
Tobias Lawrence Cummins.
Whitney Ann Davis.
Lana Kathleen Dahl.
David J. Devora Pfeiffer.
Kaylee Christine Daniel.
Abby Mae Dixon.
Joseph Michael Davis.
Matthew P. Dold.
Rebecca Marie Day.
Leah Amanda Dorner.
Nicholas J. Dipple.
Derek Sean Doherty.
Leanne Diver.
Ryan Joseph Drake.
Zachary David Dawkin.
Queenella Dubé.
Brianne Rose Dopp.
Chelsea Lynn Eck.
Lily Rebecca Dost.
Ashley Ann Ellefson.
Jeffrey M. Dowd.
Ryan Michael Engel.
Melissa Anna Dressel.
Tessa Sievertson Enroth.
Catherine Mary Dunleap.
Samantha Joe Earhart.
Emily Elizabeth Eck.
Sarah Elizabeth Escher.
Timothy Jacob Efforts.
Whitney Marie Essen.
Aaron Ray Emmons.
Nathaniel Peter Ethan.
Private Brittany Marie Engler.
Alan Lee Fackler.
Jared Samuel Epstein.
Jackson L. Farley.
Brent Michael Erickson.
Brianna Marie Fellows.
Zachary B. Esco.
Ryan Ferguson.
Lisa Marie Esty.
Christina Folsom.
David Michael Evans.
Samantha Marie Foslin.
Tanya Lind Feldkamp.
Caleb John Friedel.
Jacob Ryan Fenice.
Lillian Ann Larson Frink.
Heather Lee Field.
Laura Jane Fierst.
Randy Joyce Formanak.
Connie Ford.
Jennifer Mary Freeberg.
Emily Ann Gagliardi.
Megan Lee Freeler.
Peter William Ganslin.
Amy Marie Frelick.
Diana Lee Giesinger.
Heather Michelle Futh.
Aaron James Gillis.
Adam Walter Gadboy.
Billy Joe Glass.
Ashley Ray Galloway.
Robert Lee Graham.
Brandon Duke Garrett.
Tyler S. Green.
Matthew Gillen.
Justin Michael Griffin.
Angela Marie Giorgini.
Matthew Alexander Groves.
Michael John Godbout.
Jack Rogers Haben.
Aaron Rose Grant.
Lisa Ann Hambley.
Darius Devonte Green.
Katie Ann Hansen.
Joseph Daniel Gurui.
DeWarren M. Harris.
Stephen Patrick Groshen.
Matthew Joseph Hartman.
Nathan James Gunnelson.
Alexander Stephen Healy.
Lauren Alicia Hall.
Laura Jean Heimkees.
Jessica N. Hansen.
John Stewart Heitkamp.
Darren Darrell Harris.
Cody Adam Hemsworth.
Courtney Lee Hartman.
Thomas Patrick Henderson.
Michael Jeffrey Haugen.
Peter Cooney Hennon.
Shannon Marie Hedigan.
Kevin S. Herbert.
Mallory Elizabeth Hines.
Megan Rose Hutmaker.
Timothy Peter Held.
John Joseph Hill.
Kelly Marie Hemsworth.
Eric Gregory Hines.
Matthew Michael Hendricks.
Caitlin Emily Hodges.
Lisa Manila Herr.
Mark R. Hoffman.
Joshua Richard Hirung.
Zachary David Haran.
Derek Lee Hill.
Matthew Robert Ruby.
Melissa Marie Heinrichs.
Jeffrey Stephen Isaac.
Hui Ho.
Kelsey Danelle Ivy.
Keith Travis Hod.
Lindsay Marie Jans.
Isaac Matthew Hoffman.
Scott Allen Jenrick.
Christopher Daniel Hoffman.
Karsten Andrew Jepson.
Kyle J. Hoppy.
Emily Ann Jodel.
Ashley Ruby.
Jeffrey Roger Johnson.
Joshua Matthew Hunstiger.
Kelly Marie Johnson.
Emily Himes Iverson.
Matthew David Johnson.
Ryan Patrick Jackson.
Nicholas Andrew Johnson.
Carrie Lynn Jahorick.
Brian Michael Jones.
Brooke Joanna Jensen.
Becca Lynn Jorgensen.
Alexander Conrad Jewell.
Emily Ann Kaler.
Jacqueline Ray Johnson.
Christina Rose Capping.
Joseph Michael Johnson.
Amanda Marie Kaufman.
Kelsey Ann Johnson.
Abby Christine Keller.
Matthew Robert Johnson.
Catherine Ann Kenny.
Sierra Mae Johnson.
Nicholas James Jang Kiekafer.
Jeremy Jones.
Benjamin Kinney.
Andrew Hunter Jordan.
Samuel David Chelberg.
Corey Jungers.
Anthony James Noble.
Ryan Michael Kaiser.
Bridget K. Knutson.
Bradley L. Kath.
Bombay Conde.
Joshua Kiesling.
Leah Michelle Cossett.
Jamie Lynn Kelly.
Ploy Crakel.
Song Kang.
Gabriella Martina Kubik.
Jameson Carl Kilmer.
Tracy Jean Lackner.
Skylar Kittleson.
John Francis Langto.
Thomas Clyden.
Aaron Lindsay Landsberg.
Rachel Beth Knutson.
Andrew Douglas Larson.
Rachel Joy Konekamp.
Lucas Irvin Larson.
Jordan Richard Kozar.
Caitlin Ann Leahy.
Kayla Marie Coersh.
Joshua John Lee.
Joseph Scott Krantz.
Nicole Marie Lee.
Carrie Ann Kustak.
Sonia Lee.
Nicholas O'Neill Lang.
Vong Kaud Lee.
Lauren Ann Lanigan.
Gina Marie LeMay.
Andrew Robert Larinaga.
Alexander Hugh Taylor Lemon.
Angela Lauren Larson.
Donald Dale Lenhart.
Long the Lee.
Daniel Laterno.
Fu Lee.
Dylan Daniel Monroe.
Miley Lee.
Daniel Michael Lindebauer.
Pong Brian Lee.
Cole Brian Linsmeyer.
Tu Lee.
Corey Adam Lesh.
Jessica Ann Life.
James Zachary Long.
Timothy Paul LeMay.
Nicole Lynn Logier.
Levi James Lemon.
Megan Elise Lundquist.
Marco Antonio Leon.
Stacy Ann Lisney.
Kenneth Michael Laterno.
Benjamin Daniel Magnuson.
Kyle Victor Lichty.
Andrew James Manos.
Eric J. Lindemer.
Joseph David Marta.
Kent Marshall Lockman.
Tyler James Matei.
Samuel Paul Lovick.
Kevin Robert McIntosh.
Donovan John Luby.
Jeffrey Robert McNeil.
Violet Madison.
Daniel Jacob McNertney.
Alexandra Catherine Mahmood.
Sarah Joy Melhorn.
David Maldonado.
Marianne Patricia Mersch.
Virginia Alejandra Martinez.
Blake Robert Millington.
Catherine McCullough.
Stacy Joe Laterno.
Brianna Marita McLeod.
Daniel Moore.
Benjamin Kleindl McNertney.
David Miguel Moreira.
Mitchell Glenn McQueen.
Chad A. Mork.
Jose Antonio Maragote.
Rachel Ann Morris.
Jessica Renee Meyer.
Maikau Mua.
Pamela Lynn Miller.
Tony Kong Mua.
Nicholas James Moe.
Ryan Daniel Mozetti.
Adam Molman.
Sarah Michelle Murray.
Nicole Jean Munson.
Robert William Nash.
Lacey Michelle Morgan.
Chelsea Marie Nelson.
Michael Dean Morris.
Jake Edward Nelson.
Jacob Elias Morse.
Joseph Michael Nemitz.
Pang Shua Mua.
Julia Marie Newtkins.
Denise Lorraine Moxley.
Laura Bennett Nichols.
Mary Beth Murphy.
Stephanie Jo Nusser.
Rachel K. Netto.
Samantha Lee Astrike.
Amy Carol Nelson.
Emily Elizabeth Olson.
Erica Ellen Nelson.
Liliana Christine Olson.
Richard Thomas Nelson.
Cole Tyler Oosterhuis.
Rachel Christine Newbeck.
Matthew James Orman.
Brian R. Navala.
Amy Oy.
Carl D. Norman.
Mariah Louise Palma.
Amanda May Oxendorf.
Kyle John Parody.
Aaron Lee Olson.
Kristen Jean Paris.
Eric Philip Olson.
Jasmine Nicole Parnell.
Amanzi Brian S.A. Omega.
Zachary James Pastorius.
Emily Claire Orbell.
Coco Paul.
Julianne M. Oseth.
Penelia Pedersen.
Delano Oy.
Nicholas Allen Pedro.
Stacy Lynn Paquette.
Ryan Patrick Peshkis.
Joseph Robert Paradis.
Ariel E. Peterson.
Angela Christine Parnell.
Dana Fetaplace.
Joseph Richard Pasquarella.
Matthew Jacob Pizza.
Joel David Patra.
Carly Jean Klusenik.
Marley Lynn Perry.
Al Ponce.
Ari Alexander Peterson.
Felipe Javon Posey.
Emma Elizabeth Peterson.
Matthew John Potting.
Adam Petty.
Denise Marie Potts.
Hannah Christine Pietola.
John P. Powers.
Kana Renee Plaisted.
Alyssa Ellen Pregler.
Kate A. Poyer.
Nicholas James Proctor.
Sarah Marie Post.
Michael Jerome Quicksell.
Kristen Elizabeth Potts.
Kristen Lee Rasmussen.
Allison May Polson.
Michael Gregor Rausch.
Stephen Robert Prawl.
Mahesh M. Reinholdson.
Christopher Glenn Prementine.
Brittany Lynn Reinertson.
Nicholas R. Prue.
Nicole Keeley Roberts.
Derek Allen Rengel.
Emily Catherine Robinson.
Caitlin Elizabeth Rathburn.
Jesse Ray Roderick.
Ginger Michelle Records.
Corey Dolores Rogers.
John Henry Rentschler.
Rebecca Jane Ross.
Adam Michael Ritchie.
Daniel Rollo.
Caitlin Marie Robinette.
Andrea Lynn Ramaki.
Samantha Robakoff.
Shane M. Ryan.
Thomas Ronald Rodriguez.
Dylan Reed Sachs.
Jason Dale Ross.
Andrew John Sandstrom.
Rita Delaney Rossini.
Richard Dean Sather.
Quetzalcoatl Madigan Ruiz.
Adam Paul Schilla.
Brianna Lee Ryan.
Jenna Stacia Schmidt.
Max Anton Saylor.
Tyler Jonathan Schmidt.
Andrew Michael Sampson.
Alyssa Ann Schmidt.
Benjamin Allen Sapp.
Brittany Ann Schramm.
Amanda May Scheid.
Amy Marie Schul.
Dennis Leroy Schmidt.
Jacob Aaron Schweitz.
Tara Judith Schmidt.
Brittany Nicole Seamster.
William Robert Schmidt.
Allison Faye Siegelstrom.
Andrew Robert Schmidt.
David Abel Shaw.
Heather J. Schmitz.
Brittany Nicole Sigsworth.
Raymond Schneider.
Rachel Elizabeth Simmer.
Daniel J. Schoonmaker.
Andrea Dawn Squira.
Alexander James Schuberg.
Austin Lee Slogar.
Michael August Schumacher.
Alan M. Smith.
Tyler John Scott.
Kyle Kenneth Smith.
Emily Alice Sell.
Kyle Gregory Zamora.
Gabriela Loretta Severiano.
Sari Spitzer.
Andrew Dwayne Sherrill.
Alyssa Renee Starfield.
Ian Michael Silk.
Derek Stephen Stotzman.
Jessica L. Scupa.
Maren Elizabeth Steen.
Caitlin O'Leary Slater.
Jacob Frankenstein.
Troy William Smogard.
Casey Faye Stryer.
I think it's Thomas. I'll be fine. Andrea Marie Smith.
Jared Michael Strokirsch.
Brandy Jane Snyderich.
Benjamin John Struntz Gunther.
Christopher Thomas Sorensen.
Eric John Swanson.
Aaron Staub.
Daniel L. Swenson.
Cassandra Stark.
Zachary Daniel Tessier.
Kelsey Steedlin.
Samantha Lee Thompson.
Justin Kenneth Steffen.
Alexander Robert Tim.
Ashley Ray Steiner.
Stephen Palmer Tolsman.
Eric Thomas Tolberg. Matt, take his card.
Chi Dang Tran.
Cassandra Lee Sukamel.
Drew R. Cheetah.
Kathleen Marie Strum.
Timothy James Urban.
Christy Lynn Sweet.
Derek Tilton Bale.
Sarah Elaine Swenson.
Stephen Valento.
Brian Michael Tiro.
Brittany Amber Van Swall.
Erica Lynn Thompson.
Meng Shang Vang.
Frank Anthony Thurmer Jr.
Haku Joyce Vang.
Patrick Adam Tim.
Song Vang.
Tara Lynn Townsend.
Kelly Jean Ballou.
Laura Jean Triplett.
John Paul Vichik.
Christopher John Yuremovich.
Kate Marie Vining.
Matthew Carlin Van Boeven.
B. Vu.
Lisa Vang.
Matthew Gordon Wall.
Rasami Vang.
Anthony William Walker.
Michael Irvin Vasicek.
Amy Teresa Weber.
Stephanie Ann Vetter.
Mary Lynn Weschler.
Ian R. Vincent.
Jeffrey M. Wickland.
Brittany Joe Visco.
Troy Michael Wick.
Rebecca L. Wazak.
Rebecca Lynn Weiser.
Haley Lynn Wakefield.
Michelle Rayanne Wilkin.
William Ryan Warnicki.
Matthew Mark Wildenauer.
Jeremy Daniel Weber.
Shane Thomas Wilt.
Rebecca Renee Werner.
Cassandra Nadine Wittenberg.
Daniel James Wood.
Elise Kathleen Wolter.
Jacob Scott Widmeyer.
Samuel Timothy Worms.
Emma Madeline Wirma.
Derek S. Rich.
Theodore Vincent Wilbur.
Ashley Rose Wright.
Anthony Wilcox.
Dongwen Chu Fu Zhang.
Allison Barbara Williams.
Kuyang Zhang.
Jessica Marie Windrum.
Maya Yua Zhang.
Caleb D. Wolfgram.
Bill Lee Yang.
Alicia Margaret Wortman.
Chua Yang.
Anthony J. Wright.
Maiku Yang.
Gao Shua Zhang.
Sheng Yang.
Johnny Seng Su Zhang.
Jerry Lin Zabel.
Ku Zhang.
Amy Laura Zinmer.
Peng Zhang Zhang.
Kathleen Marie Rice.
Chaylin Yang.
Michael Venny.
Leng Yang. Nia Yang. Rhonda Rosella Yonker. Nicole Marie Zapita. Daniel Thomas Zugschwert. Ashley Elizabeth DeGrande. Brandon Boleen. Samantha Ann Weiner.
Commencement ceremonies are steeped in tradition. It is our tradition that White Bear graduates move their tassels from right to left after all students have received their diplomas. In keeping with the tradition of previous graduates, the class of 2007 will move their tassels together as one last symbol of their solidarity. Class of 2007, you should now change your tassels from left to right, signifying Class of 2007, you are now alumni of White Bear Lake Area High School. While this ceremony is a public celebration of your talents and accomplishments, it is also a recognition of the support and encouragement that your parents and family members have given you throughout your years of education. Graduates, please turn to the audience and thank your parents and guardians with a round of applause. The farewell address for the class of 2007 will be delivered by Britta Gauthier. Earlier this evening, Britta was awarded the Bear Award for Academic Excellence. Please welcome back Britta Gauthier with the farewell address.
Once a year, the Canadian town of Churchill in Manitoba plays host to some very unusual guests. More than 1,000 hungry polar bears travel through in the midst of their long journey of migration. The town must ready itself for the arrival of these massive creatures and make way for the powerful and curious polar bears as they pass through, taking care to let alone this polar bear invasion. You might be wondering how this story relates to graduation, but before I tell you, let me start at the top. So here we are, the graduated class of 2007, about to approach. We're about to approach a major transition and journey toward the future. Our time together at White Bear High School has come to an end, but our memories will be with us forever. It is time to take a step out of the familiar and journey toward the unknown with open hearts and minds. It is important, however, to take what we have learned from the familiar and apply this knowledge to our future endeavors. So what and from whom have we learned this crucial advice? Our family, teachers, friends, and coaches have all taught us important life lessons. But I believe that there is one familiar being that has been underestimated. This creature has surrounded us during our years at White Bear High School. It motivates us in the stadium. We wear it on our sweatshirts. It devours ponies and pioneers. I'm talking about our one and only mascot, the White Bear Lake Bear. Our mascot is more like us than you'd think. The polar bear tops the food chain in the Arctic, just as we top the food chain. These bears are curious and playful, particular about staying clean, and most even need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, just like us. However, unlike the average bear, polar bears don't hibernate, nor do we, even though many of us might think we should. But we're not the average bear. Learn from the polar bear that can survive the extremes. I'm not saying we haven't had our fair share of extremes to endure in the past 4 years. We've all had to wake up at the crack of dawn 5 days a week, tolerate big class sizes, and walk through a hallway holding our breath to avoid yet another stink bomb. But seriously, the polar bear can endure winter temperatures of -40 to -50 degrees for weeks without the inactivity of hibernating. Even though Minnesota winters do come close, we must acknowledge that surviving those temperatures is admirable and learn from that. Graduates, we can and will survive the extremes in the years to come. Polar bears are animals which know no boundaries. They pad across the ice from Russia to Alaska, from Canada to Greenland. We as graduates should also hold no boundaries as to what we can achieve in the future. French writer François La Rochefoucauld once said, "Nothing is impossible. There are ways that lead to everything. And if we had sufficient will, we will always have sufficient means. It is often merely for an excuse that we say things are impossible." So remember this when you move on to life after high school, whether you're pursuing college, the military, or the workforce. Dream what you want to dream, go where you want to go, and be what you want to be, because you only have one life to do all the things you want to do. But be wary. You could get trapped like the poor captive polar bears at the zoo. I'm sure many of you have seen these poor animals pacing back and forth. Don't get caught swimming in set patterns. Never give up and work toward what makes you happy, fellow graduates, because it is time. Carpe diem, it is time to seize the day. Of course, there are a few ways in which we should not take after our furry mascot. For example, a single bear can consume 100 pounds of blubber at one sitting. But remember, those of you pursuing college, this probably isn't the best way to avoid the freshman 15. That is something we graduates should keep in mind as we prepare to step into an unknown world. And as for the world, take after the citizens of Churchill, Manitoba, and get ready for a White Bear Lake Bear invasion. Graduates, let's take the memories from the familiar and journey toward the unfamiliar. Let's get out and make our impact on the world. Congratulations, class of 2007. We did it!
Thank you, Britta. I'd especially like to thank all of our student speakers tonight. And I'd also like to thank the senior class advisor, Mr. Robert Hannigan, who oversaw the coordination of this event. And this concludes our commencement ceremony. Please remain seated until all graduates have left the arena. Thank you for attending tonight's ceremony. Good night.